Okay, on this video we're going to be solving one-step equations using fractions. And notice that our first example, x minus 5/8 equals 1. We're going to follow the same steps that we used with integers by taking care of our addition and subtraction first. So, minus 5/8. Let's do the opposite of that, which would be adding 5/8 to both sides. We are left with just x on the left side equals 1 and 5/8. And if we check that, if we have 1 and 5/8, we notice I substituted 1 and 5/8 for the x. So 1 and 5/8 minus 5/8 is going to leave us with just 1. So we've done our work correctly. Let's take just the opposite. X plus 5/8 equals 1. Now, if we subtract 5/8 from both sides, we're left with just x on this side. Now, to make this simpler for ourselves, let's think of 1 as, and I'm going to put it in parentheses just so you can see it, 8/8. Well, 8/8 minus 5/8 is going to give us what? That's right, 3/8. X equals 3/8. So let's check that. Substitute the 3/8 for our x plus 5/8 gives me 8/8, which is 1. So check, we've done that correctly. Okay, now let's go to a new board and let's do some division and multiplication equations. Okay, for this one we're going to use the equation 3w equals 1.5. Well, to isolate w, we're going to divide both sides by 3. So we get w on our left side. Now, to make this fraction here, where we can deal with it, let's take 1.5 and turn it into an improper fraction, 3/2. So we have 3/2 divided by 3, which you know we've got to keep it, change it, and flip it. Well, we can see that 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3/6 equals 1/2. So w equals 1/2. Let's try m divided by 4 equals 3/4. Well, to isolate the m, we're going to multiply both sides by 4, which will leave us with just m. And we can cross cancel, divide both by 4, we get 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 over 1 equals 1. I'm sorry, let's erase that. 3 over 1 equals, you're right, you caught me, good job, 3. Okay, now let's go to the next board and do one with different denominators. This example, we're going to have 1/3 w equals 2/5. Now, we've learned in class we can either divide 1/3 by 1/3, but it's also the same as multiplying 1/3 by its reciprocal, 3/1, which will give us W times, and we have to do the same thing over here, 3/1. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 1 is 5, equals 1 1/5. And let's try now 3/4 W equals a negative 4/7 plus V. Okay, what are we going to do here? The only thing that's different than what you know to do is your variable is on the outside instead of the first in your sentence, numerical sentence here. We need to get rid of the single number negative 4/7. Well, it's a negative, so let's do the opposite. Plus 4/7 to both sides. Oops. Okay, so we know we're going to be left with just V. But what is 3/4 plus 4/7? Well, we have to find a common denominator. Well, what denominator can we use for both 4 and 7? 28 is the lowest one we can do. So 4 goes into 28 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 goes into 28 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. Now we can add because we have like denominators. So 21 and 16 gives us 37/28. We have to turn that into a mixed number, which we're going to use 28/28 for one whole, which leaves us 9/28 left. So V equals 1 9/28. In this case, we can't reduce any further. There are no common factors of 9 and 28. But keep in mind, you need to reduce as far as possible. And that, students, concludes our video on solving one-step equations using fractions.